East of the river, a revival is taking place. It's a restoration of historic homes long suffering from disrepair. Some from damaging weather, others from lack of money. But a new DC grant program is helping qualified residents preserve and protect these structures by restoring the cupolas and gables, the bracketed roofs, the grand front porches, and even the wrought iron fences that characterize some of the district's historic residential property. And this old house is one of them.
But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
This house has served us well. We've lived here 37 years. I've raised 2 children, a son and a daughter who have become productive citizens in the world. And it's just been great for us. We've had many good times here.
Built in the early 1870s, this Italianate-style home at 1312 U Street Southeast is the oldest house on the block. And like other historic properties in Anacostia, financing much-needed rehabilitation can sometimes be difficult for owners.
We were trying to figure out a way to do it, and I am a senior citizen, and my children are out on their own now. My husband died 17 years ago, and I had to make some decision as to how we were going to deal with this.
A lot of the homeowners don't have the means to do the repairs or the upkeep on their homes. And the Office of Historic Preservation and the City Council and the Mayor have determined that these resources are a valuable public asset and have charged us with maintaining them and restoring them back to the public interest.
For longtime resident Hazel Nuttall, the rehabilitation grant funding came just in time.
The paint was fading, the wood was peeling. It was just an eyesore in the community. And even though people admired the house because of its architectural status, they thought it was a beautiful house, but I knew that it needed work.
The historic preservation grants are available for exterior repairs, rehabilitation, and structural work on historic properties. In addition to Anacostia, other communities eligible for historic restoration grants include Blagden Alley, Naylor Court, Capitol Hill, 14th Street, LeDroit Park, Mount Pleasant, Mount Vernon Square, Mount Vernon Triangle, Shaw, Strivers Section, U Street, and Tacoma Park.
The Office of Historic Preservation provides individual grants of up to $35,000 to homeowners that live in designated historic districts or of low and middle income to do restoration projects to return valuable historic fabric back to the public.
The grant application is a 2-part process. Part 1 is very short and will help homeowners quickly determine if they're eligible for the grant. Applicants provide photographs of their home and a general description of work being proposed for funding. In Part 2 of the application, homeowners are required to provide a more detailed scope of work and 3 itemized bids from contractors.
They submit that Part 2 application back to us. We organize the information and then send it to a committee that's made up of our Historic Preservation Review Board members and some staff members. They review the projects for merit and for need, and then we send out letters, and most of our applicants get awarded grant projects.
For grant recipients, it means funding for much-needed painting, porch restoration, historic door and window restoration, and even replacement of non-historic doors and windows that have been removed in the past.
The idea is to try to restore the house back to its original integrity or something that's very close to it. We have also done things like stripping off aluminum siding or stucco to reveal the original historic siding on the house, whether it be wood or some other material, and then replaced areas that have been rotten or deteriorated to bring it back to something that, you know, the neighborhood could take pride in.
To me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
I strongly suggest that you take advantage of any possible way of restoring your homes, and especially in this area where there's a lot of history, it would be an asset to the area, to the community, and to Washington, D.C. as a whole.
Not only does the program and the restoration of these homes return these assets back into the public interest by improving the streetscape, the spirit of the neighborhood is improved because people see these things happening and they become more active in the historic district, more active in street cleanups, more active in crime patrols. So overall, we've seen a real improvement in the areas where the grants are happening because people are energized about the city's interest and passion in contributing something back to them.
This is just one more way that we are preserving the dynamic, fantastic architecture, history, and sense of community here in our great nation's capital.
To learn more about the Rehabilitation Grant Program, contact the Historic Preservation Office at 202-442-8818 or email Brendan Meyer at dc.gov.
But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.